Flyvault.net presents Where the River Bends, a fly fishing short story. And now, Where the River Bends. Early Christmas morning of 1982, Lima raced to the tree, excited and full of anticipation. Amidst the presents neatly wrapped and huddled together lay a special gift left by Santa. The Cabela's catalogue, laying on the coffee table, had just become a precious resource, seeing as how there aren't many fly shops in the desert. Lima was born in 1970, and the family lived on the ranch where his father was working. It was located in the Texas Panhandle, just outside of Amarillo. With plenty of open space to roam, Lima and his older brother Robert would learn the ways of an outdoorsman from birth. Cheryl, his mother, was a highly creative individual with a strong affinity for the arts. From an early age, she affectionately began calling him Lima, a playful nickname that perfectly captured the essence of her long-limbed son. In the early 70s, the extended family shared the expense and purchased a weekend cabin in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains of New Mexico, a southern sub-range of the towering Rockies to the north. It was here that Harry, their father, began teaching his sons how to hunt and fish for trout, sparking their growing affection for the outdoors. The cabin featured a small corner dedicated to storing the family's fishing gear, a space Lima would come to know well. By the age of 10, his growing interest in fishing led to a fascination with fly rods. On Christmas morning when he was 12, a fly tying kit from St. Nick solidified his newfound passion. The kit, fully equipped with tools and materials, included a guidebook that would become his primary learning asset. Over the next decade, he taught himself the craft as best he could, drawing heavily from the Dave Whitlock section in the book and developing a particular interest in flies that were made using deer hair. In his mid-20s, Lima took a job at a print shop bindery. When a frequently absent pressman created an opportunity, he stepped in as a substitute. With only a few brief instructions on operating the A.B. Dick printing press, he managed to complete all of the overdue orders that same afternoon. His quick learning and problem-solving skills earned him a promotion before he even clocked out, a nice bonus for both him and his new bride, Christy. In the mid-2000s, the couple shifted gears, taking jobs at the Harley-Davidson dealership owned by Christy's parents and beginning to raise a family of their own. Over the years, his passion for fly tying had only deepened. With a few decades of experience beyond Dave Whitlock's section in his original book and the benefit of improved tutoring, he began to elevate his skills. Leaning into tradition, he began to perfect his trout flies, preferring to use calf hair for wings and posts on dry flies over the choice of modern materials. This led to mastering tying with fine fibers and visually appealing dressings. Next would come epoxy flies. That is, until significantly improved UV resins came onto the market. He would follow the trend by mastering this style of fly tying as well. The family began visiting the southern Colorado high country on a semi-regular basis, a fantastic place to challenge his skills against nature. These trips renewed his excitement for the sport, reminiscent of the thrill he felt in his teens when he first encountered a brook trout and was awestruck by the vibrant colors of his initial 4-inch catch. While living in Texas isn't exactly ideal for chasing trout, a new challenge would emerge. This opportunity would test his recent achievements at the bench alongside his decades of foundational skills. He would dedicate thousands of hours to cutting, combing, stacking, placing, looping and pulling, persistently refining his techniques. Inspired by his mother's artistic influence, he began consistently producing modern masterpieces from his vise. In 2014, Lima, initially a bit timid, began experimenting with social media to showcase his creations. His posts quickly became favorites, captivating many with the stunning images that left viewers in awe. He began to offer guidance to others inspired to follow in his footsteps. Noticing his work and growing popularity, Stonfo reached out to him, inviting him to join their pro team as a sponsor. As an epidemic began to spread across the globe in 2019, Stonfo decided to withdraw from that year's circuit shows. It would be several years before he would have the opportunity to return to the circuit. When the opportunity arose, he hit the ground running, traveling from coast to coast and attending as many shows as possible. He engaged in talking, teaching, and being a featured tyer at these events. I once had the privilege of watching a live demonstration where he tied one of his extraordinary deer hair bugs. He ties at many shows, but his favorites are in Denver and Atlanta. If you get the chance, I would highly recommend going to watch Jeff Rowley, one of the modern masters of the vice. And now you have heard a long-lost story from a tyer's bench, and one you can share with your friends when you meet them, where the river bends. I was surprised to see the blue-headed stepchild cousin come over. I have to admit, it was nice to see the cousins back together again after they were adjudicated from dropping mangoes on cars over the freeway bridge. You'd better keep an eye on that cousin of his. Last time I saw him, he was giving a thumbs up while smashing his face into the curb, while your subscribe button stood there laughing. Mother says it runs in the family. Take care, my friends, and as always, happy tying.